All right, so we've got our props, my alternative block, my body, we can name him, and the best meditation pillow. You can come into a seat, maybe push play on your playlist if you enjoy having some music. And everything is energy. Our words are energy, what we eat delivers a certain energy, the music we listen, the conversations we choose to engage with, movies we watch, it's all energy. So let's come in a seat, close our eyes, and then music can also really contribute to a calm environment. Hopefully a warmer environment. And speaking about an environment, with yoga, we're very aware of the fact that there is an external environment and an internal environment. They're not separated, they're very much connected. But they obviously are interconnected in a way that they influence us. The weather influences us. Even the collective energy, you can sense it if you are a sensitive person. So while you sit there, let's connect with the external and internal environment through the simple act of breathing. So you breathe in, you receive the breath from the external inside your body, filling up your lungs. And then from your internal world, from your lungs, you bring the air back out into the environment around you. Slow deep breaths in and out of the nose. And breathe, not because I ask you to breathe, but because you're curious yourself about your breath. Can you be curious about your inhale? Can you be curious about your exhale, the quality, the length, the sensations, the movement, the space? And the subtle energy that slow breathing does to your body, your mind, your central nervous system. Such a beautiful tool that is with us always. Recharging our own batteries, physically, mentally, maybe even emotionally on our mats. So we can step out into the world of our mats, recharged, focused, clear. And from that space, it's also easier to move from a space of empathy and a space of compassion when you are relatively balanced, when you recharge your own batteries. So thank you for doing that for yourself and for the people and the loved ones around you. You may place your hands in front of the heart, just a gesture of recognizing each other. We are all in this moment sitting with our hands like this, opening our practice, breathing and moving and being still together. You may set your intention or your dedication. You bow our heads towards our heads towards our fingertips. And then let's come onto our backs. And today I'd like to start with a bit of movement. I don't know how your day has looked like. I know some of you have been sitting a lot. So let's start with a little bit of movement. So you can just hug your knees in, bring your arms wide and create little right to lefts with the knees. Doesn't have to be big. Just starting to massage. You might hear some crick cracks in your back. It's not about big and more. It's just about, again, feeling into the body. And stay with the breath. Right, left, left, right. A bit of a massage in the lower back. Nice. And then at a certain moment, you just find a little bit of a stillness in the center. And you can draw the right knee in towards your chest. Option is to keep the left foot flat on the floor, or if you want, you can extend that leg along the floor. Now close your eyes if you feel comfortable with that. And just take a couple of rounds of breath. We won't stay here for 5 minutes. We'll just start to feel into our hips. Start to connect with our breath. From here, let's move into a spinal twist. So you may use a pillow or a block or anything underneath your right knee, which you will bring over towards the left. You can use your left hand as a little bit of a weight on the sides. Feel where you want to be. And an option here is to turn your nose towards the right side. I like to always lift my head and then keep my neck in line with the rest of the spine as much as I can. And then you can start to close your eyes. Or find a drishti, a focus point. And then decide that you are in the right place, because you are. And then just focus on your breath. A nice way to also focus on the breath is to place your left hand on your tummy. And you can feel the rising and the falling of your belly, also called diaphragmatical breathing. Deepen and slow down the breath. Soften the skin on your face. Twists are very good for the body, for the spine, for all the little vertebrae. And also good for your digestion. Kind of squeeze our organs. Like you take a towel and you kind of rinse it, when you turn it like that. It's also a twist. So you're doing the same thing, but around your own spine. Energetically, with your twist, you work into your solar plexus, your powerhouse. Allows you to do what you want to do or what you dream to do. And then we just enjoy the stillness. These moments of stillness are so rare. To decompress, to be, to have thoughts that might surprise us, to have less thoughts, more thoughts, different kind of topics. And you can always, when you feel a little bit too distracted by your mind, you just tell yourself, okay, let me focus on my breath for the next X 20, 30, 50, 100 counts of breath. Giving yourself that task can really calm you down as well. Thoughts are human. They're part of digesting life, the past, or fantasizing, planning about the future. But we try in these yin classes to just be in this moment, and it helps to focus on the breath. Let's be still for another couple of rounds of breath. Couple more rounds of breath here. Notice when the mind wanders. It's okay, there's no judgment. You are digesting your day, kind of sorting certain things. And then you can let go of them. And then they won't bother you later when you sleep, you know. Really, really good to calm down before we start the rest of this beautiful day, before we start our evenings. Let's turn, if your face is turned to the side, let's turn our head first. So the nose is pointed straight up to the ceiling. And then you bring the knee back into the center. Ooh, and then you reach the right leg up. Now, you guys might have a belt. So if you have a belt, please use it around. Yeah, great, great. I am quite flexible, or maybe I can use my elastic. No, I'm just going to use my toe hook. So you place the belt around the ball of the foot. Your left knee can point straight up. Or again, if it feels all right, it's a little stronger around the left groin. You can also extend that leg. Notice the back line stretch. Can you move the shoulders away from the ears? And come back to the breath, nice and slow breathing. Your left hand can either be next to the body or even touch your front of your left hip, making sure your hips stay level, or again on your tummy. It's not always easy to breathe into the tummy. We are often during the day very much focused on, flattening our bellies and being worried about aesthetics. So letting that belly pop out completely is almost against our natural way of doing things. So we taught ourselves not to do that. So it's very good to just let the belly relax, let the belly pop out. Specifically with the online classes, you're in your own space. So let the belly rise and fall. Surrender with each exhale. If the leg starts to shake a little, that's okay, that can happen. Just let that happen. Or you can back off a little bit. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. So you're not cramping up the shoulders up towards the ears. They're moved away and the arms are nice and straight. In through the nose. A little sigh is always welcome. Let go of the day. Prepare for the evening. Digest and integrate whatever has happened, whether it's on a conscious level or subconscious level. Stop and be still. Now for the last little bit, you are going to bend the left leg if it's not bent, and then your left hand is going to help you determine if your hips are not moving. So you keep the hand on the hip or somewhere here on the inside of the groin. Now you're going to let the right leg fall over to the right side. But there will be a point where you feel, oh, now I'm lifting my left bum off the floor. Now my hips are all skewed. So there's a tipping point, and enough is enough. If the left knee falls out a little bit to the side, that's okay. Try to keep the back of the pelvis level. Yeah, and you start to feel that quite strongly on the inside of the right leg, probably. Keep the left foot on the floor. Keep the shoulder blades on the floor. We'll take 10 more rounds of breath there. I find this quite strong. Keep those hip level. So there's a bit of engagement. 3 more rounds of breath. Slowly release, let go of the belt, and place both feet almost in like a bit of a relaxing preparation of bridge pose. So the feet are hip width apart. You can have the palms facing up on the sides of the body, or you can again place them here. Like you can even have your index fingers and your thumbs touching right here. Like you create a triangle with your hand, which fits in front of your pelvis. And breathe towards your hands. Notice any difference between the sensations in the right leg and the left leg. You can feel my right hand is a little tired from just holding on. You might feel the same when you're holding on to that belt. Let's go to the other side. So you can hug your left knee in towards your chest. Let's start with a little squeeze. Shimmy your shoulders. You can move your shoulders a little. Chin can come slightly in towards your chest, so the back of the neck is nice and long. Stretching into that left hip. Breathing nice and slow. A little sigh. It's interesting how we have a perception around sighing, as if it's dramatic. Sighing is actually quite healthy. So letting go. Okay, if it's like, oh, like a complaint sigh, it's different. But if it's like, I'm letting go, it's actually quite healthy. All right, let's come into our twist. So the knee can come and cut into a prop, just supports it a bit. Hand can be on the side of the knee. You can shimmy the shoulders and even turn your face towards the other side. I'm gonna put my time here for us. Right hand can also find the belly button, the belly again to breathe. To really connect with your breath. What can you suffer? How can you surrender with every exhale? Taking care of your body, investing time. I noticed now that I'm here in Antwerp, and I have quite a lot of time to myself, and I'm very lucky because the gym where I used to work, where I used to be a personal trainer, allows me to come there for free, which is pretty cool. So I think today I've already spent 2.5 hours with my body. I did some exercises, and then I did actually a yin class with my yoga sister. I did some meditation, then I did some saunaing, and you realize how healthy it is. And I know with my job, I already move a lot, but today it was just like, oh, what a luxury to just have 2 hours, 2.5. Now this is another hour. So that's like a lot of hours just being with your body, being with yourself. And it's such a gift. Such a gift to give to yourself. Some kind of discipline needed because it's easy to find excuses. So good that we are all here. Take those lovely, deep and slow breaths. Let time, the surrender, the stillness, and maybe an edge. There's edges sometimes to the shapes where you feel quite strong sensations, or you get bored. You simply just get like restless energy inside the body. That it's almost a symbol of some kind of resistance, whether it's physical or whether it's mental. And we'll just be with it, which is actually such a deep thing. It sounds kind of, yeah, let's just be with whatever presents itself, but it's not always easy. So we can practice that here on the mat as well. Let's stay still, and I'll let you know when it's time to move again. Enjoy your breath, enjoy the sensations, enjoy the music. Enjoy the quality time with yourself. Soften your jaw, unhinge your jaw, let the mouth be soft. Let your breath be soft. When you focus on breathing softly, gently, often you immediately slow down. The breath starts to be longer and deeper without really having that specific intention, but just because you want to soften into the breathing. That happens. Couple more rounds of breath here. If the head is turned, start with lifting the head so the nose points straight up, and then you can slowly bring your legs back to the center. Feel the symmetry. And then we lift our left leg up. The belt goes around the top part of the foot. Your right knee can be bent or it can extend. Yeah, nice to see those belts. Lovely. And then let your head rest onto the floor. I often lift my head, bring my chin a little closer to my throat, and then put the back of the head back onto the floor. It just lengthens without forcing anything. Sometimes the head is just a little tilted back or a lot tilted back, depending on the shape of your spine, also around the torso. And then just breathe. Your right hand can rest next to the body or on the body. Touch is a beautiful thing. Just the connection of the fingertips and all the nerve endings in your hand onto a body part, whether it's your hip or your tummy, does something to the brain, does something to the central nervous system. You might even feel, my hands are quite warm, feels like a warm touch, which is quite nice. Stay with the breath. Let the back of your left shoulder, so that left shoulder blade as well, be in touch with the floor or the mat. So if you have to back off a little bit and give yourself some slack in that belt, feel free to do so. Our internal and our external environment sounds as if they're separate, but they are connected very strongly. What we let in through our eyes, through our mouth, through our ears, through our nose, through touch, has an effect on you. And what you bring back out into the world has an effect on your environment, whether that's what you put back into Mother Earth, hopefully not too much plastic and all of that, but also the people, the animals around you. We are connected. The air around you, you breathe it in. The air you exhale, you bring it back into the external environment. It's not in a way that it's separate, but we are aware of it. And the better you know your own internal environment, the easier it is also to pick up on subtle energetical things. Intuitively, sometimes when you walk into a room, you're like, something is off. Or even when you meet a person, you're like, something is off. There's no judgment about that. You might be wrong about it. It might just be a feeling, but it's a matter of getting to know yourself and following the intuition. All right, let's come with that right foot back down, and then let the left leg, my friend is in the way, it's actually quite soft. Let the left leg come out to the side. The right hand can help you judge. Let your hips nice, it's quite strong. I actually like the resting of the foot against my friend here. Take a couple more rounds of breath there. Keep the hips level. 2 more rounds of breath in this particular shape. And then let go of the foot. Both feet are flat on the floor. And just a little bit of a rebound into a resting pose. Let it out whenever it feels appropriate to you. Maybe notice a difference between the right foot and the left foot. The sensations in the left leg, it's still recovering from that length created in the back line. Maybe even in your left hip. And then we roll gently on our sides. The reason we do that is not to like sit up very quickly. You want to not engage your muscles. You want to stay soft in the way you move. Okay, so also the feet to touch. I'm going to use my katoing, my beautiful heart. You might need something higher, a block or two to place your head on. You can also rest on the feet if it's not too heavy. And then we just rest forward. Your palms can be facing up. A little wiggle with the bum can sometimes feel quite nice. I'll set our timer for us. And then again, consciously tell your shoulders, relax. Tell your shoulders, soften. Tell your shoulders, muscles, just breathe, just be. Be like jelly. Paying attention to the areas that you might notice the resistance present itself. Just talk. You have some self-talk and say, okay, that's okay. We're still holding on to something, but can you now relax the jaw? And then find the breath into your belly again. Belly breath also lets the lower back subtly expand because the air in the belly needs space. So that space is being taken. So there's more of a spread. Well, there's an extension of the belly that's quite obvious for most of us. But then if you also pay attention to the lower back, you might feel that that's also expanding when you breathe in. Quite a strong hip stretch as well. If it's too strong, just move your feet a little bit, very subtly, move them away from your groin. Again, with minimal movement, if you decide to move. Can you expand into the belly, but also into the chest, and not only the front of the chest, also the part here between your shoulder blades. Can you, with your mind's eye, kind of know where your heart is, and then breathe into the back of your heart. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Breathe towards the sides, the armpits. These practices are grounding and calming practices. It's the energy we're creating, cultivating. We're not sleeping, we are awake, we are conscious. You sometimes shift between being very conscious and then suddenly you kind of slip into the subconscious. I sometimes compare it to the space, when you feel that you're going to fall asleep, or when you kick your leg and you're like, oh yeah, I'm like almost falling asleep, but I'm not asleep. It's kind of that limbo, that in the space in between, quite a nice, relaxing space. Couple more rounds of breath here. And then slowly, slowly lift your head. Ooh. Smile. Yeah, that feels nice. We haven't done this one for a while. And we're going to do the banana asana. So you can come back onto your backs. I'm actually going to do it in this way because I think you can see me better like that. Yes, you can see me better like that. So if you can stay on your mat, it's not a problem. If your mat is here, you put your body a little bit, I'm not mirroring you now, but if this is my right side, so let's do the right side first. So you move to the right side of your mat. Let me take the timer, because once I'm in the banana, I can't move. And then you start with your upper body. Push your elbows into the floor, lift your chest, walk, and then you lift your head until you're like, okay, I'm stuck. I can't move my upper body any further. Then you may look at your left foot and slide it a little bit to the left, not too far. And then, because what happens if you go too far is that the right hip will lift. Then the right foot is going to cross. Okay, I put it too far. The right foot is going to cross over the left foot without the pelvis moving. Now, weirdly, I like to take my left bum with my left hand and kind of pull it out, out and under and away. It feels like it's making me not level. And then you have an option to bring your arms overhead. I like to hold my right wrist with my left hand, even the right elbow. You don't really have to pull, but you can pull a little and then go, okay, flop, flop, nothing like, well, actually just like flop, just like a pancake. Now you're in the space, you're in, oh, it's so strong. I don't know if you guys feel that. It's quite around that outside, the lateral part of your body. I don't know where you feel it most. We will all be different. Maybe you feel it very strong around the outside of the leg, the right leg. Maybe you feel it quite strong around the outside of the hip, or just like in the waist, around the top part of the rib cage, the armpit. Maybe you feel it very strong into the bicep or the tricep, probably the tricep. Just notice that. And then breathe. So you're stretching your right lung as well. The lungs, it's also tissue. So just by having the body in this position means that the tissue is being stretched, that the right lung is nice and wide and open. Probably also feels more open than the left side of the body. Lateral stretches are stretches we don't do very often. We don't do a lot of lateral movement. Like when you're standing, you don't go like, oh, let me grab some tea in this way. No, you just, it's forward and backwards and turning and twisting. So lateral stretches are actually very good. You can even cup your right hand around the left elbow as well. If there's space for that, soften into the elbows, soften into the shoulders. Oh, that was interesting. My bum was squeezed. And suddenly I said to my bum, relax, and it went poof. Maybe, I don't know, I always just share from my experience. I was clenching my buttocks, maybe to compensate for quite strong stretches around, or sensations around the right hip flexor also. So maybe just go, oh, let's relax my bum, see if it changes anything. Relax your jaw. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with banana asana. Banana asana. I like it, but there is an edge. There's definitely an edge. It's not a shape I would voluntarily be in for like 15 minutes. We're almost there. Stay with the breath. Really slow down or soften the breath. Make your breath soft. If you're breathing into the nose, as if you're smelling flowers. You don't go when you smell flowers, you go softly, gently. You want to embrace all the lovely perfumes that come out of the flowers. You also don't want to damage them. When you breathe out, it's almost like as if you blow out through a little straw or something. All right. Let go of the elbows. Slowly move out. I feel I'm almost stuck. I'm going to use the bed to bring my upper body back. Uncross the legs. And I'm actually feeling like bending my knees and readjusting my hips, kind of tilting them. Because we have the other side to go. Interesting here. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a big difference between the right and the left side here. Extend the legs, shimmy your body, or maybe that's easier with the knees then. Shimmy your body to the left side of your mat. We start with the upper body again. Moving your head, pressing your elbows into the floor until you're like, okay, well, that's kind of it. I can't move much further than that. Then you look to the right foot. I would say it's probably like 5 or 10 centimeters only, that you move it. Otherwise, the left leg just doesn't reach the right leg. Arms can come overhead. I like to lift my right bum a little, use my right hand to remove the flesh from the sit bone. Can hold onto the left wrist. Pull a little for a moment, so that's active, just to find that extra length. And then find the flop, or at least the body has the energy of sighing, softening, soft toes, soft ankles, soft knees, soft belly. Let the breath rise and fall, the chest, the belly. Soften the skin on your face. Normally, when we're in these kind of yin classes in a studio, I look at the facial expressions And if the facial expressions are like very like tense and it's something that there is too much of a push. It's like, oh, well, just soften your face. So the test is actually if you can smile, then you're in the right place. And then the breath into that beautiful open stretched left lung. Dare to let the belly rise and fall. Nobody's watching, and it's so healthy for those organs, for the diaphragm. Sigh when you want to sigh. Allow yourself to just let go. Couple more rounds of breath here. Ah, my bum was not relaxed. Funny. You think your body's relaxed and then you like think of your bum and you go, oh, I can relax the bum even more. For the last couple of rounds of breath. Let go of your elbows. Woo. I don't know if you want to start with your legs or your upper body. Slowly move out. I find it strong, guys. I don't know about you. I find it strong. Then the knees. And then for the last shape before Shavasana, you might need a block. I'm going to use my round block, which is the same. I might need a pillow. So if you move, no, probably it's going to fit. If you have two blocks, put one block in the lengthwise direction and then another block either like that or like that for your head to rest on. The second block for your head might also be a little bit lower than this block under your heart. I said heart, so we're not putting it in our lower back. So if you know, ladies, we have our bras as a reference, and guys, you can just think of like a heart rate meter. That would be around here. That's where the low part of the block is. Is my head gonna fit? No, my head's not gonna fit. So you don't really want to have your head hanging like that. So I'm gonna put my pillow there. Yeah. It can be a bit strong. Like this thing is quite hard. And when I use a block, I also find it quite hard. You can have the soles of the feet to touch. But you can also put a pillow or a towel over it. Arms can just relax. Oh, this is very uncomfortable. It's too hard on my ribs. That's gonna be better. You know, it's gentle suffering in a way. Ooh, that's much better. Much better. So what we're doing here is opening the chest, really opening the rib cage, opening the lungs to the front, doing the opposite with specifically the upper body of the movement you do most of the time. The block sits kind of in between the shoulder blades, so even the body falls open around the block, the bolster. The head is supported. So also the feet are touching, and remember that when the feet are really close to your groin, it's a little stronger on the hips. If you want a little bit of space, just see what works for you. My hips are quite open, so I like it quite close. And if this hurts a lot, you can put pillows under the knees as well. Let me not forget about the time. This shape is so wonderful at any time. Breathe and feel how open your chest is, how easy it is to breathe into the chest. I'd rather be in this shape for a little longer and let you decide your own Shavasana today. So if you have something that is a timekeeper, or if you want to lose track of time, it's also quite nice sometimes. Some have a watch where you can put your 5 minutes or even 10 minutes of just lying in Shavasana. It's so beneficial. We'll do that now. But I'm going to leave you there. This is such a lovely shape. So I really want you to enjoy this. And still do a little counter after. Can you smile? Can you breathe freely? Such a gift, that stillness, the resets, the realigning, the restoring, the reconnecting with the inner world, a bit of self-inquiry maybe, all very beneficial for your physical and mental well-being. You can bring your hands behind your head and just draw your chin in towards your chest. So the elbows, you can see them, they're squeezing in towards each other. And then you can roll onto your side. We'll just do a soft counter. Gently sit up and just let your head be forward. Oh, I don't know about you, but I feel like quite strongly here again, in the upper part of my back. You can feel my heart in my head. Oh, these yin practices, they work. Well, yoga works. Our bodies start to crave for these moments of stillness. It's your intuition telling you, this is what I need. So thank yourself for giving yourself what you need. You may now find your shavasana with the legs along the floor, maybe even covering your eyes with something. And then I send you a lot of love all the way from Antwerp. Put your timer on, enjoy the peace of quiet. Namaste. Bye, guys. See you next week. Enjoy. Bye-bye.